welcome back. It's Dawn, and thank you for joining me. Today I am going to do my transparent, or rather translucent, base pillow over Acacia Wood trays. Now, just a tip for those who haven't really looked around in the woodcraft section of Hobby Lobby. They are now carrying Acacia Wood trays. I got a round one and I got a square one. Haven't decided what I want to do with this yet. But these are $12.99, and on their rotating bi-weekly special, this ends up being just under $8, which is a really good price for these. They do, however, need to be sealed, and I recommend a matte shellac if you can find it. If not, a satin shellac is fine. Do not use a high gloss shellac because it will make your pillow too slippery and it could crack. So that's the tip for the day. So anyways, I was at Hobby Lobby looking for the 16-inch round canvases and kind of struck out in that. So I figured I would grab these and do a couple of trays. Today I'm just going to do the round one because I don't have the square one sealed yet. So along with my translucent base, which is bare eggshell deep base untinted, about half again as much American Floetrol, and a pretty healthy squirt, probably 2 or 3 tablespoons of a clear pouring medium like Artist Loft. And that's all it is. You actually want it to stay quite thin so it will spread out nicely. And for those of you who have watched me use my translucent base on wood, you have to be very, very careful about not getting too much base down because you want to be able to spread that thin so that it will dry so that you can see the wood grain. So that's the pillow for the day. And then I'm using 3 pigments and two regular tube paints. One is Liquitex Diox Purple, which isn't opaque, and the other one, Liquitex Quinacridone Magenta, that I drizzled a little bit of acrylic ink in, a color called Purpleac, just to deepen it, make it a little richer. And then I'm going to be using my Amsterdam Pearl Yellow as a cell activator, which I love to do. So I am going to do that today. So let's dig right in. And I'm not going to be mouth blowing this bloom. I'm actually going to try to use my blow dryer. And when I say going to try, it means I'm experimenting in Dawn speak. This tray is actually warped, and I didn't realize it until I had already shellacked it. And I don't know if it was warped before or not, so it's not like I could return it. And it's probably going to be something you'll have to check in the store when you purchase these. So I'm going to be using my little Purple Wazer blow dryer. I want to try to make sure that I get my cell activator blown entirely over my colors and that I don't have much of an outer ring of colors. I'm going to try to avoid that. So I'm going to let this just be experimental. If it comes out great, then we will have all learned something. So that is the undertaking for the day. And I have some paint booger in reflex green sitting on the top, which is really weird because I haven't had the reflex green open in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to start with, I'm kind of visually measuring this as I go. And there are no bubbles in this, and I just mixed it up. That's what I love about Behr paint. So that looks like about a half a cup of my mixture, along with a little black dot of something. And I'm going to start by just kind of smooshing this out to see how much it thins. And I've done this a few times, so I know what I'm looking for. It's definitely not too much at this point. If it's not enough, I'm fine with that. I want this to blow thin, so I'm leaving this thinner than I feel comfortable with, just for experimental purposes. So, in an attempt to get some peacock cells, I'm going to layer 2 pigments on the bottom. You may also know from past videos that pigments will tend to want to bleed into this translucent base. I'm going to see if that happens with the Behr, and I will adjust accordingly when I do one like for serious. And I also want to make sure that I don't get too much color down, because I do not want it to cover the entire tray. Okay, so the first one, that was my sea glass, straight sea glass, no TLP added. And this is my Arteza, no, this isn't. This is Pearlex Duo Blue Green. So it's a shifting pigment. And I found it in my cabinet, so I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to use that. And trying to keep ahead of the bubbles as best I can, because I did have to add some water to my paints and pigments. My studio is actually very hot when I'm not using it, and everything seems to want to thicken up. So anyways, back to what I'm doing. So 2 pigments and then an opaque, just drizzled, not a thick layer, just like that. And then I'm using my Arteza Iris Purple. Not too much of that. And the Liquitex Quinacridone Magenta. And not a whole lot of that either. Okay, so this is actually going to be a pretty quick process, and we will know quite quickly whether this was a pass or a fail, or a success or a fail, I should say. Get plenty of cell activator on here. And here we go. Oops. Doing that glove thing again, where my glove sucks up to the air intake. Okay, so gentle reminder that this particular pillow recipe, which I've used before, tends to want to skim over or skin over quite quickly, and that is not a good thing. And there's quite a lot of cell activator on here, which I'm a little bit nervous about. but where it's transparent, it's not as much of a problem. And the really nice thing about these sealed trays is that if you screw up, you don't like what you did, you can pour a little bit of citrus strip in it, smooth it out, walk away for 15 minutes, come back and just peel it right out. And then start over, clean it up really good with mineral spirits or alcohol or whatever you have. Let it dry. You don't need to resand it. Give it another quick coat of shellac and you're good to go. Okay, I'm going to manually push this out before I spin. Oops, I got a little aggressive with the side there. And I'm probably not working quickly enough for this base. And it's really warm in here, so all of my videos through the summer and fall are going to be very, very quick, or they're going to be voiceovers because I have to run my AC if I am going to spend any amount of time in my studio. Otherwise, I literally melt. Okay, covered and spin. That gave an opportunity for the cell activator puddled in the middle to break up a bit, which is good. And I may or may not need, no, I do not need to add more. Whoa, slow down. Got a little slippery there. If you go too fast, this will fly off even with a silicone mat on it. Okay, I'm getting some really nice stained glass look, and I'm not really seeing a lot in the way of peacock cells yet. Maybe a little bit, but nothing to write home about. And with my pillow, translucent pillow over wood, I don't mind the bubbles so much because it makes a really pretty effect that shows through the bloom. It's very pretty. You can see a little bit of wood tone, so it's very soft. You need to learn patience. Okay, I don't want to go wonky here, so the paint is not moving. So what I'm going to do is I do want to have a bit, I'm going to smush this color out, not color, the pillow, I think, just real thinly with a damp brush. Something with a point on it. So just going to moisten this brush and then squeeze the excess out. This will keep me from having finger marks, hopefully, from smushing it out with my hand. This brush is also awesome for cleaning up this edge because I don't like it when my paint goes up to the rim. going to cut away for a few minutes while I clean up my edges before they dry, and then I'll come back and we'll do a flyover. Okay, so I've got my edges all cleaned up, and this is a spectacular shimmering beauty, and I'm trying to pick up the shimmer and the color shift, but it's really hard with this overhead light. So let me try to, you can see it start to turn green, but from where I'm looking at it, I see what you see as blue is a mint green to me. It's so pretty. So I did get a tiny little area of flocculation. I'm just looking for it. Right here. So let's see if I can find it again. There it is. So right here, you see that separation? That is actually kind of normal working on a translucent base. It doesn't dry terrible. It actually looks really pretty, and you don't really notice it. But I do wish that I could somehow pick up the color shift in the center of this bloom, because it is gorgeous. The sea glass and the duo blue green from Pearlex really blended well, worked well together. So there aren't going to be dried results at the end of this video. It's just going to be this portion. And in an upcoming video, I'll actually show you both dried results and resin results. This one is not going to be ready for my show in 2 weeks, because I won't have a chance to get to Hobby Lobby to find another tray to redo this. And I doubt seriously I'll ever get the warp out of this. It's quite unlikely. But I will resin it and do something with it, I'm sure. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. Please leave any comments. I'd be happy to answer. You can also catch up with me on Facebook. All my information is in the description. And I will catch up with you guys next week. Bye for now.